this week was a crazy week. I mean, I did not expect Minnesota to get drugged like they did by the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys lose a game to the Green Bay Packers, and you're like, the same old Dallas Cowboys. And then, of course, they come and put up 40 on the Minnesota Vikings. Stop them, hold them to nothing. Minnesota Vikings look like world beaters, just beat the Buffalo Bills. And now you're like, what? Again, Mitchell, parody.
It is parody. But, I mean, we talked about it weeks ago. I mean, the Vikings have been a surprising team. You know, they've got elite playmakers. Justin Jefferson is one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers in this league. But to be 8-1 and to have so much pride going into this game, proving everybody wrong, you're going to go on this historic run as a franchise down the stretch, and to have the Cowboys come in and not just beat you, but have their largest road win in franchise history against you, 40-3. This Dallas Cowboys team, if they do things right, if they stay healthy, looks scary. They've committed to the run. They've given our boy Tony Pollard ample opportunity to show he's going to be the breakout offensive player of the year. But now they're getting Zeke back, and they've stuck to their identity that got them, success over the past decade. Run the football and let Dak do his thing on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, it seems good, Mitchell, but I also just saw them lose to Green Bay, who's 3-7. So, let's not pump the brakes. I want to be on this board with you. I want to be there, but it's inconsistent. Tony Pollard looks like the real deal in the pass game and the run game. I was talking to Mike Irv, and it was crazy. He's on the Zeke train. Physical. And he's like Tony Pollard. Like, he doesn't do enough in the pass blocking aspect of his game. And I'm like, well, he makes up for that in his receiving because Zeke isn't a threat in the pass game. Zeke has 37 yards on the season. Tony Pollard had 68 yards in one play last week. And so what are we talking about here? Sure. You can't block. Put Zeke in the block. I mean, you talk about the 49ers. 49ers put Kyle Juszczyk in to block. They take Elijah Mitchell out. They take Christian or put Christian out wide, and they put Juice in there to block on third and pass play. Third and passing. And it's different. I want to believe in the Dallas Cowboys. They have 42 sacks on the season, leading the league, the most through 10 games in modern era. But people can run the ball on them. They can be run on. The same with the Philadelphia Eagles. Without Jordan Davis there, I mean, they just got Linval Joseph and they just got Sue to shore that up. But they have shown that weakness. Now, maybe it won't be a weakness going forward. But I don't know. In the playoffs, you got to be able to stop the run, baby.
Well, it's an impressive win nonetheless on the road, and probably another insane stat line developing in this season. The Vikings, and this points to kind of what we talk about. Is this 8-2 team a real 8-2 team? Richard, they've been outscored by 2 points this season in totality. The Minnesota Vikings are 8-2 and are -2 points on the season. How does that even happen?
It's a great question, Mitchell.
You just get blown out 2 games. That's how it happens.
Yeah. They got drugged this last game, and when you get drugged, it's going to change things. But I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting down the stretch. I think the San Francisco 49ers are throwing their hat back in the ring as one of the best teams.
I tell you what, Rich, they went down to Mexico and they opened up a can of whoop ass on the Arizona Cardinals. This 49ers team, you preached about it for weeks. Just wait till they're healthy, and they're healthy. They have dynamic playmakers at tight end, at wideout, at running back, at fullback. Again, Jimmy G is the perfect quarterback. Simplify the offense, just get it in your playmakers' hands and let them do the work. Beyond this game, it's going to be coming down to the wire between the Hawks and the Niners. The Niners just won their 4th consecutive game by 15 points or more against a division foe. I mean, that is absurd. They're beating teams in their own division at record pace, and they're healthy. Is this their division to lose?
Mitchell, they haven't given up a point in the second half in 3 games. It seems to be their division to lose, but they got to be consistent. They got to keep going. They got to beat good teams. They got to continue. I mean, since Christian McCaffrey got there, they have been better. They've been a great team. offensively and defensively. And Eric Armstead still is not back. Like, Javon Kinlaw still is not back. And when they get back, my goodness, it's just mean. It's just rude. They're going to be fresh. They're not going to have to play a ton of snaps. They're going to be effective. They're going to make the other pass rushers, Bosa and Drake Jackson, like, they're going to make them even more effective as pass rushers. And Jimmy G is just getting in rhythm. You don't have a training camp. We talked about it earlier. You don't have a training camp. All this controversy, all this stuff. He's not even supposed to be on a team, Mitchell.
Here
and now, the fans are sitting there screaming and buying his jersey again. If he gets them to another Super Bowl, it's going to be controversy out there. If they win a Super Bowl, my goodness, I'm going to enjoy talking about it in the offseason. It's going to be fun. But the 49ers got a big game next week, the Saints. They have to find a way to win this game.
Are they here if Trey Lance does not get injured?
Are they where, Mitchell?
Are they here right now in a prime? I'm sure they're going to be firmly within the top 3 of Richard Sherman's power ranks this week. I don't want to speak for you, but they certainly look like a hot team right now. Are they a hot team trending this far up at this point in the season with Trey Lance at the helm?
I don't know. We haven't seen enough. You know what I mean? Incomplete. We don't have enough tape. I don't have enough tape to tell you that. I know what they look like when Jimmy G is on, and add playmakers. You know what I mean? Like, you add Christian McCaffrey. He's given Jimmy G a safety blanket that Kittle has been a safety blanket of sorts, but it's a different kind of safety blanket when you're just like, hey, I'm going to throw it to you 4 yards in the backfield on a swing route, and I know you're going to give me 6, and we're going to be in a manageable situation next down if I'd have nothing else. And he's using him week in and week out. Every week you see him 6 receptions, 7 receptions. Like, it's check down, it's wheel routes, it's angle routes. And then, hey, you want to double team him? We're going to throw it to Brandon Ayuk on the return route in the end zone. Like, they have so many weapons and they're using them well. And Kittle finally had a nice breakout game. I don't know if it's because they were in Mexico. I don't know. It's because he said, hey, I'm happy. I'm not upset, but I would like more than 2 targets a game. Hey, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to ruffle feathers or make waves. But hey, would be nice to get the ball from time to time. I can do it now. And he did. He can do it. And I don't know where they would be with Trey Lance. I don't, because we just haven't seen enough of Trey Lance. Next year we'll see.
Yeah. Richard, I'm going to ask you a tough question, and one that's probably going to piss off one fan base and make another one thrilled. But nonetheless, I need an answer from you. Pete Carroll and Kyle Shanahan both call you today and say, Richard, come make this final run with us to the playoffs. Which team are you going to be suiting up for that gives you a better opportunity to get that second Super Bowl trophy?
Mitchell, that's a great question. I ain't suiting up for nobody right now. But
if you had to suit up, Rich, this is a hypothetical. I'm not telling you got to. I'm just telling you if you had to.
A hypothetical.
A hypothetical, Rich.
Well, probably San Francisco, because right now Seattle doesn't need me. Seattle has a rookie who's leading the league or second in the league in interceptions, Michael Jackson, and I'm not talking about the thriller. Michael Jackson is playing good football. San Francisco, on the other hand, is really beat up at the corner spot. They're really banged up. They lost 2 starters. They lost Ferret for the season before he even got out there. They lost E-Man. I'd be able to make more of an impact there. Obviously, Charvarius Ward is still playing really good football, but yeah, I think they'd be in more need of my talents than the Seattle Seahawks at this very moment.
So let's move over to the Seahawks. They're coming off a bye week, 6-4 as an organization. This is certainly a better year than we anticipated them having. What do they need to do to be able to get into the wild card and make some noise? Did they have a shot at the wild card here?
Well, they got a shot in both. They got a quarterback, Mitchell. That's the hardest thing to have in this league. That's the thing everybody thought they didn't have. Mitchell, right. They traded away their franchise, their quarterback, their all this. They're going to be picking in the top 5. They're not going to have – they're picking in the top 5 for a whole different reason right now, Mitchell. That's a story for a different day. But I think they got a chance, man. I think they got a good running game. Their offensive line is playing well. Their defense has shown a resurgence the second half of the season. They're going to come out of this bye re-energized at the perfect time. I'm sure they wish they could have found a way to get that game in Germany, but that's a hard situation, a hard team, a tough team to run the ball on. Vita Vea and the boys are not just going to let you, they're not just going to let you run the football. That's a Todd Bowles team. Todd Bowles, well-coached defense, great defensive line, but I think they got a chance going forward. I think they They have the team that they need to have. They have the playmakers on the outside offensively. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like.